Hey Flock, today I bring you news that has left everyone upset. Our beloved Roquan Smith, one of the best players on the Ravens defense, received a fine for a controversial play that resulted in injury to the Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin. It's hard to see such a talented and dedicated player being punished like this, especially when we know how much he gives his best on the field. We're going to talk about what this means for Roquan, for our defense, and of course, how it could impact the Ravens season. Stay with me until the end, because you'll understand why this situation isn't fair and how our linebacker can overcome it. Go Ravens! Our linebacker Roquan Smith received a hefty fine of $16,833 from the NFL after a controversial tackle he made against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin. This type of tackle, known as a hip drop, is a technique where the defender brings down the opponent using their body. The NFL considers this play risky and dangerous, which is why they decided to fine Smith after Godwin ended up with a serious ankle injury that sidelined him for the rest of the season. Despite the high fine, many fans and players are questioning whether this really solves the problem. The truth is that the hip drop tackle has been a hot topic in the league, as it can easily cause serious injuries. Roquan's case has sparked a series of debates about what is allowed on the field and how the rules need to ensure safety. Even with more than 9 similar tackles this season, none of them were penalized directly during. This makes us wonder, will the NFL start paying more attention to this type of tackle? And how does this affect the playing style of athletes like Smith, who are known for their intense and physical defense? With this situation, Smith has found himself in the spotlight, both for the impact of the tackle and for his importance to the Ravens defense. After all, he is one of the players leading the defense with intensity and always wants to make a difference on them. But now he and the team need to find a balance between playing aggressively and avoiding issues with the league. The big question is, will the NFL regulate the hip drop tackle to prevent further injuries and suspensions? The tackle Roquan Smith executed has reignited an important discussion about the use of the hip drop in the NFL. This type of tackle has caused several serious injuries this season, and in Chris Godwin's case, it resulted in a fracture that ended his season. Despite the growing number of injuries caused by this technique, the league has yet to decide to officially ban it, leading many to question what it takes for the NFL to make a firmer decision. For Roquan and other defenders who play intensely, this raises doubts about how far they can go to make a strong defense. The problem is that the hip drop is a technique that, when executed, puts much of the defender's weight on the opponent's legs or ankles, significantly increasing the risk of it. Some believe this technique is just part of the physical game and that it's hard to avoid in such an intense sport like football. However, at the same time, there is pressure for the league to take a clearer stance on the issue, as player safety is always a priority. And while the NFL is only issuing fines off the field, many question whether this is sufficient. For Roquan Smith, this debate means one thing: he may need to adjust his playing style if the league decides to ban the hip drop tackle. As a high-level defender, Smith knows that intensity is part of his job, but no one wants to jeopardize another player's career. Now, we wait to see if the NFL will toughen its rules regarding this play. And you, fan, what do you think about the NFL banning the hip drop tackle? Leave your comments if you think the league should ban this technique to protect players, or if you believe there are other ways to keep the game safe. Let's discuss in the comments. But will the impact of this change alter the style of such an important player like Roquan Smith? Roquan Smith is known for the physical and aggressive playing style he brings to the field, a trademark that excites fans and impacts the Ravens defense. However, with the hip drop tackle controversy and the possibility of future restrictions, the style that makes him so crucial for the team may be under threat. The pressure to adjust his way of playing is real, and many wonder if he will have to tone down his performance on the field to comply with potential new rules. For Smith, adapting his game might mean losing some of the intensity that makes him unique and feared by opponents. Players with a physical style like his have a strategic function in critical moments, stopping attacks and destabilizing the opponent. So, thinking about toning down that intensity raises questions not only about the impact on game, but also about how he personally will cope with this change. Will he be able to maintain the same level of performance and help the Ravens defense stay solid? The issue is that, with the defense relying so much on Smith's strong presence, any change in style could affect the team's entire dynamics. For the fan, there's concern about how this adjustment might influence the remainder of the season and the future of the defense itself. And now, will this situation motivate Roquan Smith to refine his technique even more, finding new ways to maintain his impact on the field? Well, we've passed the halfway mark of our video, but I noticed you haven't liked this video yet. It's really important for YouTube to keep promoting my content to you, and that way I can keep bringing you more. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free. Thanks. Moving on. Roquan Smith is a defender who never shies away from challenges, and with the fine and the criticisms that came with the tackle on Godwin, he's once again in the spotlight. For many, he could have been more careful, but Smith has always been a player who gives everything he has on the field and prioritizes stopping the opposing. The NFL's decision to impose the fine generated mixed reactions, with some defending the player and others calling for a more cautious approach from it, especially in critical plays like the last game. Smith has not publicly commented on the fine yet, but it's known that he is a player who usually responds to criticism with even more dedication on the field. Every time he faces controversy, he seeks to improve and prove his worth in the game, showing the fans and the league that his intensity is part of his playing style. This determination is one of the reasons why he is so admired by Ravens fans, who value his passion for victory and a solid defense. Now, with this controversy behind him, the focus shifts to how Smith will respond on the field in the upcoming games. The fans expect him to keep showing the same grit, but with extra attention to avoid more fines and preserve his playing style. Will he be able to turn all this pressure into more motivation to lead the Ravens defense with even greater intensity? With Roquan Smith facing this controversy, the impact on the Ravens' defense is a concern for many. Smith is one of the cornerstones of the defense, and any change in his style or how the NFL views the intensity of tackles could directly affect the team's performance. For a team like the Ravens, which has always valued a strong and aggressive defense, Smith's style is essential, and keeping him focused and motivated is a priority for the entire team. For the defense, having Smith 100% present and confident makes all the difference, especially in tough games and high-pressure situations. He is a natural leader and inspires other players to give their all on the field. If he needs to alter anything in his game, the team may need to adjust their strategies to maintain a high-level defense. Even with the issues that have arisen regarding the hip drop tackle, the Ravens trust that Smith will find a way to keep playing with intensity and ensure the defensive strength that the team needs. The big expectation now is that this situation will reinforce the spirit of unity and fight within the team even more. After all, having a solid defense is one of the hallmarks of the Ravens, and with Smith at the forefront, the team is ready to continue demonstrating its strength on the field. This is a season where everyone will need to come together even more, and Smith will undoubtedly be a key player in maintaining their unyielding defense. And there you go, fan. What did you think about all of this? Roquan Smith is a player who deserves our support, and this fine seems like a tough decision, right? He always gives his all on the field, and even while facing this challenge, we know he will find a way to motivate himself even more and continue being a pillar in our defense. I want to know your opinion. Do you think the NFL is being fair with these fines, or should they consider more the context of the plays? Leave your comment down below, and let's discuss. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more news about the Ravens.